Hello and welcome to Arts Talk Radio. I'm Michael Hasted. We bring you interviews as well as news and reviews relating to all aspects of the arts in Holland, concentrating on events in Amsterdam, The Hague, Rotterdam and everything in between or nearby.
Arts Talk Radio online. Features on the arts in English.
Well, thanks. My name is Greg Shapiro. Thank you.
I'm at the theatre in Delft and I'm in the dressing room of comedian Greg Shapiro, who's just come off stage. And your new show, your new tour, is called Farewell Trumpland.
It's leaving Trumpland. You can.
We'll start again. We'll start again.
I didn't do a very good job of reading that. Okay.
I'm at the theatre in Delft and I'm in the dressing room of comedian Greg Shapiro. And his new show, his new tour, is called
Leaving Trumpland.
Why leaving?
For a number of reasons. First of all, I've done the voice of Trump for so long. It's been so great. But yeah, if Trump ends up leaving the White House, then we'll all be leaving this bizarre experiment called Trumpland.
And if not?
And if not, I don't know if I will feel comfortable returning to my homeland ever again, or with Corona, if I will ever be allowed. So, exciting times.
Because I think Donald Trump is a gift for comedians, is he not?
He's been so great ever since the video about the Netherlands second, and but we've had a good run, and people are saying like, oh, what if he, leaves? Then, will he be out of a job? And the fact is, I'm out of so many jobs already, so why not let him join the fun?
I mean, has it been difficult the last 6 months?
The past 6 months, certainly, yeah. No, I mean, there's been not a lot of work. We've had to be very creative with coming up with income. Since the 1st of September, we have the theaters that are reopened. And, I've developed actually 2 different shows, and they're ready to go in time for Election Day. But yeah, as of today, it looks like the theaters will be closed again. So shortest run ever. Actually, tonight here in Delft, there were 105 in the first show, and then I'm playing a second show. So that is another 50 to 100 people, and that's how the theaters have been able to sell out all their seats so far. It's a 1-hour show this season. It's not 75, 90 minutes, and you play twice per evening. So that's the new normal. And if it ends up being only 30 people, I'm happy. 30 people, thumbs up, let's do this.
I know when you're forced to play to smaller audiences, I mean, does that make it more intimate, or do these people get lost if you have 100 people in a big auditorium?
It's such a great question, and it's so interesting from the performer's perspective, or if you're not a performer. I mean, the good news is, Dutch audiences in general are reticent is the term. So, it's like an oil painting. But Dutch audiences have a reputation, certainly among international comedians, for being very reserved. And yet, after the show, it's generally a lot of appreciation. My own wife was watching me on stage one time, and she said, I smiled very hard. No laughter necessarily, but the appreciation is there. So you just have to have faith. And whether that's 30 people spread out through 250 seats, or whether it's just 30 people in a very tiny space, or a full room full of sold out standing room only. It's just a slightly different challenge every time. So I like it.
And you say Dutch audiences are different. Could you do the same act in Holland as you do, or you would do in the States?
Right. I mean, I've tried that a bit, actually. And I did a performance of my previous show, which was The Madness of King Donald, for a Dutch audience, and I recorded it. And now it's on Spotify with an American producer who said, yeah, you should come do that over in the States. And I've performed it in the States. And it's true, I have to make I have to adapt some pieces. I have to move some things around. I have to adjust for different attitudes. Because in the Netherlands, Donald Trump as a subject is like, oh, he's a buffoon. But in America, it's like it's called outrage fatigue. So you have to adjust for that.
It must be difficult, though. I mean, if Trump is not re-elected, and Biden gets in, I don't think Biden's going to have many laughs, is he?
Joe Biden can be plenty of fun. I've described him as a combination of Clint Eastwood and Mr. Rogers from American kids television, and he's just he sounds really tough, but he's actually quite sweet. And do you feel lucky, punk? Well, you should. We live in a great country. And you had Bill Clinton who said, I feel your pain. And Joe Biden is more like, I've felt pain worse than you have. I'm feeling pain right now. My leg, my knee.
So how long have you been doing it? Only since he's been president, or were you doing before then?
No, in fact, at Boom Chicago, the comedy theater in Amsterdam, we do an election year special every 4 years, or in Dutch, a verkiezingsconferentie. And we've been doing that, Pep Rosenfeld and myself. Pep and I, we've been writing comedy since we were 15 years old. So that's more than half our lives. And so we've been doing these shows since 2004, and this is our fifth one. But anyway, sorry. That in 2016 we were doing the show called Trump Up the Volume. And that's where I started doing the Trump voice. And, when the eyes are never fully open and the mouth is never, ever closed, that's how I get the Trump voice.
Tell me a little bit about Boom Chicago, because you were one of the founders of that. That was quite a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. We just had our 25th anniversary. And that was my original plan was to come here for one summer. And 25 years later, the Dutch can be addictive. So fair warning. But it was just a plan for me to come for one summer and see what would happen. And I really didn't expect that I would stay.
Were you a comedian before you left, or did the Dutch make you funny?
God. Did the Dutch make me funny? Funny in the head, maybe? No, I was doing comedy in Chicago and New York, and, not very successfully, or shall we say it was a learning experience. And, I was very happy to come to the Netherlands and find work, actually. And it's always been a lot of opportunity here. Honestly, that I didn't find back in the U.S. So, what's not to like?
There's I imagine, a bit of an element of a big fish in a small pond.
I guess so. That is, the question is also, why wouldn't I perform in the Dutch language since I'm doing my 6th solo show now?
Do you do an act in Dutch?
I've tried, but it turns out that everybody in my audience speaks English almost as well as native speakers. And then there's trouble in translation. And then, there are plenty of Dutch language comedians who are really quite good in their native language. So they don't need more competition. And oddly enough, I've been touring the entire Netherlands, even Zevenaar and Drenthe, in English. And to my surprise, it's been working pretty well.
I mean, I imagine in Amsterdam, a fairly large proportion of your audiences are native English speakers rather than Dutch. But that's not going to happen in Drenthe, is it?
No, indeed. And there was a moment in, Waldwijk in Noord-Holland, a very tiny town, and it was theater week. So everybody pays €10 and, it's potluck. You get whatever they decide to serve up. So there was a man in a wheelchair who was seated by the door, and he, the lights came up and, oh no, he's speaking in English. So I talked to him after the show, and he said, well, good thing I'm seated near the door. I'll just quietly sneak out. But he thought, well, I am understanding him. And then he mentioned, like, something from today's news. That was an NOS Journal. And, it was Actualiteit, current news. So he stuck around. And after the show, he said, yeah, I didn't think I would understand your English, but I did. It was clear enough. That's something I try to do.
Because I think you are a sort of, how can I put it, a thinking man's comedian.
Sure.
You need to know things before to understand your act. You need to understand some background, a few politics and things like that.
Yeah. No, it's indeed. I do try to reward, people who, I guess I try to make the show for people who come up to me as friends or online or on the street and just ask me these questions like, what if, Trump refuses to acknowledge the election results? What if there are two people who show up on Inauguration Day next year? What is Trump thinking? Who are these people who vote for Trump? And I guess my show is honestly trying to answer those kinds of questions for people. And yeah, I suppose it's not. There is, if it was a college course, there would be like prerequisites necessary. You need to know a little bit about topic X for this to make sense, but that's fine.
But how do you explain to anybody how somebody would vote for Trump?
It's something that I study more and more. I used to say that it was, white minority anxiety, because America is becoming minority white by the year 2045. And a lot of white people in America realize how minorities are treated in America. And we don't want that. So, and it's sort of this unconscious, subconscious phenomenon that a lot of people don't do a very good job of articulating why exactly did I vote the way I did. But it seems to be, it's not processed in the prefrontal cortex. It's the amygdala. It's the reptilian brain, fight or flight. It's fear-based. And Trump does a very good job of appealing to that, fear in people. But yeah, it's also more than that, and it's too easy to say, oh, they're all racist or something. But it's a projection of strength, basically. And Trump does that very well.
Before I came out this evening, I was watching the news, and they were showing this rally in Florida yesterday, and he addresses the audience. It's almost like a disco. It's like a disc jockey.
Oh, sure. He's got a patter, a DJ patter, a radio, sort of a salesman patter. I mean, he's been compared to P.T. Barnum. Step right up, step right up. There's a sucker born every minute. And
did you see that thing from Florida? He was saying he'd like to go down to the audience and kiss everybody.
Yes, and hug everybody. And I'm totally negative. I'm positive. I'm positive. I'm mostly positive. And these people believe him though, and they show up. So yeah, it's not for nothing that I trotted out a fairly dark joke in a reference to the death cult in the 1970s where everybody was drinking the Kool-Aid. Now they're just breathing the corona. Maybe they'll be around by election day. Will Trump survive until election day? Will he lose his life but still win the election? In 2020, anything is possible.
But do you think he will accept the result?
I doubt it, honestly. And, he didn't accept the result when he won in 2016. I also won the popular vote. No, you didn't. But it must have been fake, totally fake. But fine. So, it's entirely possible that we'll have, two people, that show up on Inauguration Day, and then it becomes more like, well, what will the military do? So, it's great for ratings, you got to admit. And it's also possible that he will just disappear overnight and send a text, like Dubai is very nice this time of year. And, any place that has one of his properties and no extradition treaty. And that wouldn't surprise me either.
I mean, I got the impression, I remember when he was first elected, for the first, 3, 4, 5 weeks, he had nothing but flack. And I really would not have been surprised if he had just said, well, sod it. I didn't think it was going to be like this.
Yeah, right? I just wanted to win. And he didn't even expect to win. He didn't even want to win. He just wanted the promo, from being a presidential candidate. And and yet it seems like he does enjoy having people salute him, and it's very good for his ego. I think he would do the job in his spare time if he could, which he basically does currently. So, yeah, he plays a lot of golf.
Okay, well, thanks very much with that, and good luck with Trumpland. Let's hope it doesn't go on for another 4 years.
I'll be fine if we have a change of the menu.
So, Greg Shapiro, thanks very much, and let's hope your tour survives as well.
Thank you very much. We'll see what happens with the new rules, and I'm going to check the news right now.
Arts Talk Radio Online.
That was Greg Shapiro, whose current show Leaving Trumpland is due to tour all around the Netherlands until the middle of December. But things are changing all the time, so check with your venue.
Arts Talk magazine provides the perfect companion to Arts Talk Radio, with reviews and previews in English of cultural events in Holland. Whatever your interest in the arts, our international team of writers will always provide something new and exciting to see online. That's Arts Talk Magazine, all one word, .nl. artstalkmagazine.nl.
Well, I'm afraid that's it for another week. You've been listening to Arts Talk Radio, and we'll be back in a week or so, hopefully with a lot more interesting people, with lots more interesting interviews. My name is Michael Hasted, so till the next time, it's goodbye.